And good morning. Before I get into today's topic, I just want to express once again my thanksgiving for all of the outpouring of love that came yesterday. I'm not even going to attempt to count how many people wished me a happy birthday, but it had to be probably a couple of thousand, I would imagine. And it was a humbling experience, as I indicated on Facebook before I went to bed last night, to receive so much appreciation from around the world. For each of you that took time either on Facebook or on YouTube, and YouTube isn't designed for happy birthday greetings, but I did get quite a few of them. Thank you. Thank you, each one of you. Some of you sent me songs, some pictures, some beautiful words. Many just said simply happy birthday, and that's beautiful too, just to be thought of. Thank you. It was a holy moment. And as Phil Rizzuto used to say, the announcer for the New York Yankees way back when I was much younger, holy cow! And that brings me into my topic for today. Holy. The meaning may have been changed. As I was growing up, I heard the word holy a lot, especially in church. And my family was active in that environment. We were holy rollers, and proud of it. I was taught it meant sinless, without guilt. It was a standard that made me feel unworthy and not good enough for most of my life. But what if the meaning was wrong? What if it meant holy with a W and two L's, as in inclusive of all that is? What if that is what the single I that Jesus mentioned was what it really meant? What if holy was the game plan of the controllers designed to make us feel less than, rather than pointing us to our amazing and unlimited potential? Today I will explore this with those that have ears to hear and hearts to receive. As I said in the blurb, words can take on a wholly different meaning. I didn't even intend to use holy there. An entirely different meaning, depending in this case in English on how it's spelled, H-O-L-Y or W-H-O-L-L-Y. Same sound, same pronunciation, different meaning. English does that with a lot of words. For those of you foreigners where English is your second language, it can be a very confusing language because of that. Some words can have as many as 3 different spellings for the exact same sounding word. But in this case, the word holy was and still is, in many circles, used to make people recognize that they are sinners. I remember when my daughter went to enroll her oldest daughter, my granddaughter, whose birthday we celebrated yesterday, since the family's taking her to SeaWorld on her birthday next weekend. We had a party here yesterday for her with a magic show with my friend Steve. But anyway, my daughter thought it was a good idea at one point in time to enroll her. I think she was 5 years old, maybe. She's going to be 10 next Sunday. I think she would have been 5, possibly 4, but I think 5. And she went to enroll her in one of the local churches in the Awana, AWANA program. And they were teaching the kids to memorize Bible verses. And one of the first Bible verses they were teaching them is about the fact that they were sinners. And my daughter called me on the phone and said, "Dad, what do you think of this? They sent this Bible verse home for my little girl to learn, and I don't want to be teaching her that she's bad, that there's something wrong with her. I don't want that kind of mentality put into her brain. I don't want to raise my daughter like that. But I want to give her the good things about the Bible and stuff like that. I want her to know about God, but I don't want her to be brainwashed with the idea that there's something defective about her." And I said, "I agree with you, Carrie. It's done a great damage to me, and I was raised that way. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." And sin was a major, major emphasis growing up. The preachers were against sin, and they were teaching, "Be holy, for I am holy." And I don't mean themselves. I mean that was what they were saying God's words were. "Be holy, for I am holy." Be separate. "Come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing." God isn't separate. And God would never encourage us, from my present point of view, to be separate. God always, for a long time, as part of my own personal healing, has emphasized to embrace everything with love, to approach everything from the heart and from a space of, if not acceptance, at least understanding. Is the human race sinful? Have we missed the mark? I mean, look at us. Look at our world. Everything is twisted, inside out and upside down. Occupations do the exact opposite of what they've been designed to do. You've heard the quotation. Lawyers pervert justice. Ministers and priests pervert spirituality. Politicians pervert truth. Bankers pervert money. Teachers pervert education. Everything is twisted inside out and upside down. Ron, are you trying to tell us that we're not sinners? No, I'm trying to tell you that we've been brainwashed into thinking of ourselves less than we ought to think. I'm not trying to tell you that every behavior and every attitude is going to lead us to something wonderful and something beautiful and something good. I'm not going to tell you that, because it's not true. We can all make bad choices, but the idea of being holy, of being flawlessly perfect, and not being human lays a tremendous trip on people, encouraging people in many cases to be hypocrites, to put on masks, to put on costumes, to pretend we are better than we really are, in order to impress those around us. Hey, it's part of the culture, right? It's part of the culture. But it's not true. It teaches us to be inauthentic and act without integrity, without being truthful to ourselves. And when we're not truthful to our own self, we cannot behave truthfully with others. And so it makes it really hard. When you're growing up, wanting to be the best you can be, wanting to do the best you can, but being driven by the idea that you fall short, and guilt trips are laid on you, and fear is laid on you. Guilt and fear, the manipulative emotions, manipulated by religion especially, but the entire culture manipulates us. Even if you're not religious, it doesn't matter, because our culture is imbued with that mentality. And then I get people, I think the person that I blocked earlier this week on Facebook and YouTube came back with another identity yesterday. And when I didn't even thank him for signing up for YouTube. He was one of my new YouTube subscribers, and when I realized what was being said, I blocked him immediately. I'm assuming it's a him. Another one of these old-time religion people trying to say that, Ron, you're leading people astray. I'm telling you, if you want to believe I'm leading people astray, that's okay. But I'm not going to enter into an argument with you. Certainly not on a personal level. I'm not going to do that. Because love is not leading people astray. I'm sorry. The religion that teaches little children that they're bad and that they're sinners and that they're defective, that's spiritual abuse of the worst kind. It sets patterns in that young mind that fester and grow throughout their life. And how many people can relate to feeling not good enough because you were taught when you were a little kid, before you even could understand the dynamics of it? You were taught that love was conditional, that God would love you if you're good, but would be really disappointed in you if you're bad. And good and bad had to do with doing what your mommy and your daddy or your teachers or whatever had to say. They were the ones that determined what was good and what was bad. You couldn't determine it with your own conscience because you were defective. You were misguided. Yeah, we all were misguided, weren't we? With words like holy and perfect, and other words that were twisted to mean something other than what they could mean, instead of emphasizing the highest potential and saying you are a gift of God. And God gave you as a gift to us, and your life as a gift to yourself, that you could gift the world and become whatever you wanted to be, because you have unlimited potential. You have unlimited power and unlimited knowledge and wisdom that you can gain, and talents and gifts and abilities that you can develop. Instead of teaching that, we've been taught that we're defective, that we're sinners. No wonder the world has grown the way that it has. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to push that old-time religion that I was taught. It's time for a change. My daughter was right. You don't want to brainwash little kids thinking they're defective, because little kids are innocent. I'm sorry. They're innocent. They come into this world with a clean slate. Even if there's karma from past lives, they come in with a clean slate to handle it differently, to make a new start, a new beginning, and to move into their potential. Please take a look at how these words and the meanings we apply to them affect you in your life? If you're thinking that you're supposed to be separate, well, there's something wrong with that, because the prayer of Jesus was that they all may be one in us, speaking to his Father, that the world might know that you sent me. And why do I not like biblical Christianity or fundamentalist Christianity that I grew up in? Because it's distorted. You may not want to believe that, but it's distorted. It's wrong. It's absolutely morally and spiritually wrong to train kids, to train human beings that way. It's all I'm going to share for today. I ask you to think about these things, and I encourage you to love yourself and to love your neighbor, to love God, because love is the fulfillment of all the law and the prophets. It's all about love. Believe that or not, but I leave you with it. Namaste. Thank you.